This is the TARDIS. I'm sorry, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. See it? TARDIS. And this is what life is all about. And this thing. It's supposed to be a sonic screwdriver with a random red button. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This is a reaction video for the 50th anniversary episode of Doctor Who, also known as The Day of the Doctor. Oh my goodness, was it beautiful. See, I was expecting to cry like 50 times, but instead I ended up loving it and just like not crying. Well, I mean, I laughed and then I cried some, so let us fix this. Is this better? Is this better? Let's hope this is better. So I went on the 25th, which was Monday night at 7:30 p.m. and I went to the theater and I saw The Day of the Doctor in 3D. Now, I had no idea there were so many Whovians in my area. I thought there was just like this very select group of people because, I mean, let's face it, I live in the United States and, you know, Doctor Who is an English show. I mean, it's made in the UK, and I thought it was a totally British thing, and I was like one of the very few people that liked it that lived in the United States. Turns out there are some diehard fans where I live, and it was so cool going to the theater and seeing people with like Forrest scarf, and they had the Matt Smith screwdriver, and they all had like the David Tennant shirts and the Are You My Mummy shirts. It was so cool. And the movie, I'm going to call it a movie, the movie itself was beautiful. I loved seeing it in 3D. I loved seeing Tennant's face in 3D. And this is spoilery, by the way. Spoiler filled. Go away if you have not seen it. Or even if you're not a Doctor Who fan, I would maybe go away, because if you do end up watching it on Netflix and loving it, then you don't want to be spoiled. So I started watching Doctor Who with the 2005 episodes. I started with Rose, and then I've watched it up until yearly now. So I started the episode Rose, and I just went from there. I actually watched 2005 episode Rose to the end of series 6 in exactly 1 month. And yeah, there were a lot of marathons, lots of them. I think I watched an average of about 5 to 6 episodes a day. I just loved it so much. And it was in the summer, so there's no one to tell me, you know, get off the internet, you have homework. It was, you know, just watch Doctor Who all day. And it was wonderful. And yeah, so going into this, I'd only ever seen the Doctor, like, plagued by the Time War, because the only episode I've seen outside of the new series is, I've only seen bits and pieces of a few episodes of the classics. So, I really had only seen the Doctor upset and depressed and plagued by the Time War. And now that we've seen the painting, the Gallifreyan painting in a sense, and we know that Gallifrey falls no more, that it's somewhere and that there's hope. Oh my goodness, just, it blows my mind. There is hope now, and that's an amazing thing, because it's just, it blows your mind. Like, this entire time I've been watching the show, I've been thinking, the Doctor's the only Time Lord left. I mean, yeah, we've seen like little pockets, and we saw like the Time Lord Council and whatnot, and I think it was the end of time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the end of time. It was one of the series finales, and we saw them, but it was like this pocket of time because time was collapsing and whatnot. Anyway, and the fact that Gallifrey is still there and the Doctor's not alone anymore is incredible. Like, there's more than just him now, and it's just like, whoa. Does that mean we're going to see more Time Lords in the future? Does that mean we might see some of the Doctor's kids? Because we know that he was a dad once. So does that mean we'll see some of his kids now? Will we see his wife? I mean, just the possibilities are endless, and it's so cool. And is anybody else surprised to see, was anybody else like really happy to see Tom Baker? Just, that was cool. That was really cool. And it was also really cool that when they were showing all the Doctors, that they go, no, all 13, and we only see Capaldi's eyes. That was so cool. And other than that, I just loved seeing Tennant's humor again. Just, Tennant, let me hug you, because you were beautiful, and I love you so much, and you will always be my Doctor. And all the little jokes, and especially the end one, where he was like, well, I don't want to go. And then Matt Smith is like, he always says that. I laughed so hard because it's so true. Because just that episode made me cry for months. I could not think of those 4 words without crying. And it still makes me upset to this day. But now I can look at it and be a little bit happier. The other thing I loved is that Billie Piper came back, but not as Rose. Because my initial thought process was that what we saw David Tennant would be the copy, and they would somehow go to the parallel universe, or we'd see part of the parallel universe, and it would be Rose in the copy. I don't know, just thinking about that, I thought it might be weird, considering that we all know Tennant as the Doctor, and he would have been like a half human, half Time Lord. So he still had all the Doctor's thoughts and stuff, but he was human. And I don't know how I would have reacted to that. I don't think it would have made it as special. I do like that we got to see the Daleks, and the Daleks are scary in 3D. I don't care what anyone says. I used to call them trash cans. My parents call them upside down mop buckets, and I consider them one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And I know even like other Doctor Who fans like, no, they're not that scary. It's the weeping angels who are terrifying. I personally think that the scariest like monster, I guess, type thing of Doctor Who were like the water people from the Waters of Mars. Those, I don't know what it was about them. It just scared me to death. And whenever I see a picture of a weeping angel, or even just like an angel statue, it doesn't matter. I don't blink until I'm away from it. And by away, I mean a good mile or so. No blinking. Nope. If I see a picture on the internet, I have to go to at least a few more pages before I blink, because it's terrifying. And the Cybermen don't scare me that much. It's just, I actually feel really sorry for them, because they have no emotions, and yeah. So, going back to the Days of the Doctor, I'd never seen a Zygon, because, as they said, they were from 38 years ago, and they just brought them back, and I don't really know how I felt about them. I mean, yeah, their mouths were scary-ish, but you could tell it was like a person, and it kind of looked like an octopus, so they weren't that scary. Yeah. And I also kind of felt like that the main plot here was not, and I felt like Clara was kind of in the background, and she's kind of just there to be there, since she's the companion of Matt Smith. I don't know, she just seemed like she was there, but not really a big part of the plot. I really think the character that shined here was John Hurt, and really the Doctor himself. That was, yeah, the Doctor. And I love seeing the 3 TARDISes like the two past ones and then the current one all lined up. That was so cool because you select the older one, the Tenant one, and the current one. And I also thought it was really funny when they're in Tennant's TARDIS and then it shows Smith and David Tennant's like, oh, you redecorated. I don't like it. And then they talked about the round things on the wall. That was cool. So overall, I absolutely loved the 50th anniversary. I actually was expecting to see Matt Smith regenerates Peter Capaldi, but I hear that they're saving that for the Christmas special. Which, I mean, come on, BBC. Really now? You're gonna be, Merry Christmas! We're gonna kill off one of your favorite doctors. Well, regenerate. But still, you can't just, no. So I'm not crying on Christmas. I will not be watching it directly. I'll probably put it on my DVR and save it for, who knows, maybe the 1st. Because then I can cry and it won't be 2013. Because I've already cried enough this year over Doctor Who. So I loved it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you're not a Doctor Who fan, I highly suggest that you get on it. I would suggest getting on Netflix if you have it and starting with Rose. But if you don't have Netflix, then use Amazon Prime, but do something and get involved in Doctor Who community because it's a lot of fun and Whovians are awesome. And bow ties are cool. So are fezzes. Okay, the fez thing. That was hilarious. Fez. Get a fez. I want a fez now. So, yeah, I will have a new video up soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.